Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Fractured Shadows, a lovely little online game of Daggerheart Homebrew with online friends. I am the host and DM of the stream, Shade, also known as PlagueDoctorShade, and with me, as per usual, are my lovely friends Statica, Voodoo, and Thorn. Before we begin, the obvious elephant in the room, Vixen, who's playing Akuji, will be late. She will arrive later in the stream, and she's personally dealing with some personal shit, but hopefully we see her tonight, as we would be very sad if she did not make it. So, that aside, couple of normal disclaimers and announcements before we begin. First and foremost with that, this is a mature game. This is a mature Daggerheart game, and it will include adult themes and depictions such as drug and alcohol use, sexual themes, psychological torments, gore, body horror, and potentially much, much more. You have been warned for those that are watching live and watching later in the future. Secondly, we do not own anything in this game aside from the characters that you see and the world that is made before you. That includes music and art assets that have been pulled from various sources. So, do keep that in mind as well as you continue to watch. Aside from all that, if you like Fractured Shadows and everything that you see here today, or you like any other content that you see on the channel, please do me a huge favor by liking, commenting, subscribing, and ringing the bell notification so you never, ever miss an upload. So, my friends, are we ready to get started?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
If you don't like, comment, and subscribe, I will not be mad. I will just be disappointed.
The stream
Oh,
is
no.
rated M for mature. No poop jokes.
Well, shit, alright.
All right, well, I better get going, guys. That was a good run.
That was a big
Oh, that's
64 reference.
That's it. Anyway, so, last we left off, everyone here had a interesting time in the evening, where Murkon and Akuji were accosted in the graveyard by a mysterious guardian, a knight of sorts, who was helmed, as well as Julius Copperbrand, the acting castellan and constable of the town. And a fight did ensue, with Julius firing a couple shots at Akuji and Murkon being restrained violently by the knight, who did not act out until Murkon decided to flash them with a certain powder, or rather bottle, filled with a magical substance that blinded both of them. Unfortunately for Murkon, Akuji was a bit late in aiding in his efforts, and the knight, who took this as an actual act of violence against them, who Murkon quickly found out was a woman, through means of attacking the groin with a kick, was immediately brought down her maul onto Murkon, sending him through one of the graveyard's walls. Excuse me. As the rest of the party was informed of Murkon's dismay, thanks to Raylig's earlier ploy of attaching a psychic link between the two of them, Raylig was the one to hear the distress from Murkon and quickly woke up the brother, Leonin, to inform them of what was going on. They quickly made their way as fast as they could towards the graveyard, taking Akuji's route, as that is the route that Angel picked up because of Murkon's specific little perfume that he used to mask his scent and trail. And when they arrived, they saw that Murkon was in a pile of rubble, and that Akuji had her hands up, with the knight having her hand around Akuji's throat. Raylig and Leonin quickly surrendered, as they were essentially told off both by Julius and this mysterious knight of the graveyard, informing them that they are protecting the graveyard at night specifically from necromancers due to lingering necromantic energies and with the lich in the crystal nearby. With them leaving and Murkon having a very, very bad episode from his unknown mysterious disease that has turned its ugly head, the two brothers got into a fight verbally, and Leonin stormed off before the rest of the party went back to the inn to find some rest. During that time, Murkon spoke with Beatrice to have a better understanding of how the potions exactly worked, and went to go get new potions that would help him breathe better, as the ones that were attempted to be used later on in the encounter at the graveyard were broken. Beatrice offered him the potions of air and had made sure that they were reinforced so they would not easily break this time around. With a plan set in motion, the party decided to head off to the Bright Willow Manor to speak to the current head of the family of Bright Willow, that being Lilith Bright Willow. And as they approached the gates and entered the main house, the main manor, they met a familiar face amongst Lilith Bright Willow, one that no longer had a helmet on. That being the very same knight that accosted them the night prior and sent Murkon through a wall with her maul, her face now showing a very scarred appearance with short blonde hair and very intense brown eyes. At least I believe they're brown. This is where we pick up with you guys staring down the knight that very much has some sort of connection with Lilith, as I would say that you four, including Akuji, who is now Blair Witching in a corner, are in a staring match of sorts. And you can see that this knight is very tall. So we'll actually pull up her little picture real quick. You guys have her image in the Discord, so you don't need to reference anything. However, let me play a better song that better fits. So, you are currently looking at a woman with thick armor that seems to be made of old iron and insignia on the breastplate that appears to be that of a black avian creature. You are unsure, but you do see that it does have two heads on either side. You notice that this woman has this very intense look about her, a very square jaw, a nose that is only slightly crooked, and very short, light blonde hair. There are several scars that grace her appearance, and yes, her eyes are indeed brown, more of a hazel color. And aside from these scars, you do see that she's wearing some earrings, but most keenly aware, you do not see a helmet on her or near her, and you do spot a very long fur shawl that spirals down her backside, as she is wearing full plate. Everything seems to be covered except her face. And she glares at you. Before you react, Lilith does approach with her hands ringing against each other. Is there something that I need to know about?
Is there? I don't believe we've met yet.
Miss Coldlight, is everything all right?
And she gives you a very small smile, Murkon, as you say that, and a short nod as you hear the thick Rimian accent come out once more, clarifying that this is indeed the same woman that sent you through a wall last night.
No, everything is all in order. This is our first time meeting, I do recall. You just reminded me of someone. That is all. I never caught your name.
Funny, you don't remind me of anybody, unfortunately, so I don't think we've met before, but it's good to meet you. My name is Murkon.
She steps up to you, and you see that she is significantly taller than you. How tall is Murkon exactly, if you recall?
He is 5'11". Not that tall.
Okay. She stands at a staggering 6'10". She is a very tall and very big woman. As she reaches her hand down, a very big, meaty gauntlet extended to shake your hand.
Murkon looks at the hand. He goes, "Oh, hi. Sorry, I've been a little sick with something. I don't really want to pass it along." He says, with his eyes almost like narrowing up at her with that smile still just as plastic as possible.
She gives you her eyes squint in your direction, and she smirks, very much knowing that you're bullshitting. Kind of. And she gives a nod before pulling her hand back.
That would be very unfortunate. A grave indication of your health, even. I do hope that you recover soon, Mr. Murkon. You may call me Anissa. It is a pleasure to meet you.
This is Anissa Coldlight. Raylig. That name rings a bell.
Oh yeah.
Love that.
He always has like an Akira moment when this familiar name comes up.
Sitting at the edge of my seat.
Leave me alone.
Raylig.
So yes, go ahead and roll a knowledge check with your little thingamabob that lets you know if it's specifically about a people, place, or thing.
Okay. And advantage. Ooh.
You aren't particular in knowing much about, I would say, lesser known warriors that have a little bit of renown to them. Heroes, sure. Long-lived legacies, such as the Zaranovas, for instance, are pretty big in name. But you feel like you have heard of Coldlight before. You just can't remember. It's something specific. It's something extremely specific. But the problem is, it's very uncommon of a name for you to recall, and you haven't heard anything like that in a very long time.
Yeah, I think he's still on edge about running into this person literally the next day. So I think he kind of wrinkles an eyebrow, and there's a ball turning in his head, but he can't quite place it.
At that notion, she turns to you and offers you a hand, Raylig. How tall is Raylig?
How tall are fawns? I don't actually think I said.
They can be as short as 4 feet, but they can be as tall as 6 feet. They're pretty average. They're still just normal humanoids.
Okay. We'll just say a 5'5", sure.
So
He's shorter than Leo?
she, much like Murkon,
Sure.
but even more so, towers over you as she reaches out a very large gauntleted hand to shake.
And you are?
Raylig Keith. And he will take the hand and shake it to keep up appearances.
You feel pain as this woman's grip is like steel. As she gives you just a very, very once firm handshake with her grip and just gives you a knowing nod. But she does tilt her head, seeing your perplexed look.
You must forgive me, Master Keith, but there are only a few people that look at me in such a way. What perplexes you so?
Not much. You see, I'm a bit of a scholar, and I think I've heard your name before, but I'm not quite sure where.
Hopefully in only good tidings, I hope.
And she will then
Sure.
turn to Leo, ignoring Raylig's little reply, and she approaches you and offers a hand.
And you are?
He just like looks at it for a second and just like takes it with like an awkward smile, like, name's Leo. Nice to meet you.
I see.
Are you giving it to her daintily?
Kind of just normally.
Okay. Seeing your form, she takes the underside of your hand, unlike Raylig, and this is going off of basically your entire appearance, Leonin. She takes your hand and holds it up, like, you know how like a knight would do to like a lady? It's basically
Yeah.
that. It's in that same exact manner. And she just like holds it to her face for a moment, doesn't do anything, and then lets it go.
This kind of looks like, huh? He looks a little confused.
You can tell it was a much more tender grip. But she does look between the two of you.
And just for my own sake, as I am a deputy constable in this town, I watch over the graveyard and I like to make sure I am in the up and up on information. What would be your surnames, Mr. Murkon and Mr. Leonin?
Or Leo.
He just gives like he gives his brother like an awkward look. It's like, should I or
Burkhan sucks some air in a little bit, not in a like strained way, but just to like show he's about to like speak up. We're Silver Brooks. We been in town for some time, and we've been doing some work around here. You being a deputy constable, you know, this is my first time actually seeing you, despite us being around town quite a bit. You must be new.
She
Big Burr right there?
she shakes her head.
You see, the constable, as you may be very abundantly aware, Mr. Copperbrand, he works in the day, and I make sure the streets are safe at night. Most of my time is spent in the graveyard, you understand, as we wish to not run afoul of any more necromancy considering the town's history. Isn't that right, Lady Brightwillow?
And she turns to Lilith and she beams up a bit and nods.
Oh, yes, very.
I forgot my fucking French accent. Hold on.
It's slipping from you.
Yeah, I know.
Yes, it is is very important for the town. You see, I believe we've already been in discussions, Leon and Rayleigh, about the history with the Lich and the curse placed upon the Bright Willow family.
Indeed, we have.
Yes, Anissa here is abundantly aware of such things, and she is, what would you call your profession? A knight of sorts, but in technicalities, I am a paladin.
And she grins at Lilith, patting her on the shoulder.
Right, yes, I'm sure you're aware of the paladins that wander every so often.
Wait, no, I think Lilith was British. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
See, I can't even get my characters right, guys.
I'm a real. Sometimes I have a hard time telling between your like sort of like Romanian like accent and like your French one. So I don't even remember.
They're
You at least
very similar.
differentiate.
Yes. Sorry, Lilith is British, and I fucked that up severely.
I mean, Leo should be British too, but I'm not even trying that shit.
Right.
Pardon me, I believe I've caught a case of the French.
Of course, a case of the French, you see. No, she's very posh.
Yes, no. Anissa here's. She's not a wandering. She used to be part of a.
And you see Anissa just raise a hand, shake it.
That is not necessary, Lilith. We do not want to humor the famous Silverbrooks with such boring tales of lost grandeur. Besides, I am here now, and that is what matters, protecting the one free town of the Golden Plains to my best of my ability.
And you see that Lilith does blush a bit, and her tail sways back and forth. A very grateful gesture from what you all can see.
Rakan looks over at his brother.
Fucked already. Dude, he looks over and just like, I guess I can't blame her.
Well, this town is very safe by your groundskeeping then. As we were here, we wanted to ask maybe a couple more questions regarding some work that we're doing. Being that it's more related to our work, we are looking to get a little more privacy about that, considering we are working on a case that will probably take us out of town for a while.
No, of course. I have heard a lot of what you have done already for Bright Willow Haven, Master Silverbrook. You and yours are considered heroes of the town. You have my thanks for clearing up the problem with the bear and the guilds, the little feud that they've had for the last month or so. But I will take my leave. Your business is not mine, and I am sure you wish to get on with it.
The sooner, the better. For us, at least.
She gives a nod, and she looks towards Lilith.
I shall be off. If you have anything you need, Lilith, just let me know. Knight's Honor, all right?
And Lilith nods before Anissa ducks underneath the doorway and proceeds to make her way out into the open. As the gates open, the door close, you are now left alone with the only noble of Bright Willow. And she does look at you expectantly.
Seems like you two have some history for A little longer than that.
You see her give pause as she raises a brow. I'm sorry, I don't understand what you mean.
Seems like you two are like friends, like you've known each other for a while.
I suppose we were friendly with each other. She is a very charming knight, I must admit.
And how long has she been serving as the constable of this town?
It has been some time since I recently checked the records, but she came to us about, if I had to take a guess, 4 or so months ago? It was before any of the problems that you solved had recently struck the Haven. She has been a very dutiful member of the Watch, and she's said she was part of the Adventurers Guild. Oh, sorry, the Adventurers League. It has been some time since I've double-checked, but she's a good one. I can tell you that much.
I know that she wished to be humble about her past, but I can't help but feel the itch in my head from trying to remember where I've heard that name from. Would you be willing to share a bit about what you know from her past?
I'm kind of surprised that you, of all people, don't know Rayleigh. The name Coldlight doesn't ring a bell to you.
It does, but I'm afraid I'm getting up there in the years, and all of that information tends to jumble a bit at the edges.
Let's hope you don't go senile on me now, old man. Very well. Come, let us talk in private as you have wished. Don't want to have this discussion out in the open. And she motions you to follow her back into the same office lounge area that you were before, with the several bookcases and the fireplace on the other end of her desk. Like, on the far end, opposite of her desk, I mean. Well, before we get into that, and she closes the door, are you familiar with the Grand Mercenary Company known as the Crimson Hawks?
Them I have heard of. It's difficult not to.
Yes, well, if you are still unaware and not putting two and two together, Anissa used to be a member of the Crimson Hawks, and a very attentive one at that. There's a reason why she was called the Cold Light. And she pulls out a equivalent of a newspaper clipping from a long time ago that has the symbol, naturally, of the Rasdanyan Archduchy, and simply named in this little specific column called the Rimian Times, which is about anything and any updates that happened in Rime. You see a small snippet of essentially what is a detailed account of Anissa's exploits that earned her the name of Coldlight, where she, as a paladin, basically smited a bunch of invaders so hard that she caused an avalanche. And these were during a couple of border disputes when several members of the neighboring army to the country up north, bordering Rime, caused some of these very issues.
and it seemed like that her maul that she wielded had this ethereal glow to it in the cold of winter, earning her the nickname Cold Light, which she now uses as her surname. And more so, you notice as you're reading along that the final part of this, it reads that Anissa retired from the Crimson Hawks and wanted to go out on a limb, essentially, to start adventuring on her own to see the rest of Rasdanya and potentially beyond. And that is where the article ends.
She's quite the hero, it seems.
Yes, she is. She's very, very, very heroic in many capacities, and the fact that she came to our town to work as a deputy for some time is astonishing, to say the least. I'm a bit surprised.
You must have taken quite a liking to this place. There must have been something that captured her interest.
Well,
By the way, you mentioned like that she's a paladin. Was there any mention of like who she's a paladin to in the newspaper?
No. It just said that she is a paladin that was part of the Crimson Hawks.
Right.
You could bring that up if you so wish.
I think he will, yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, she does seem to be quite upstanding. But did she share who she's a paladin of? Maybe that could relate to why she decided to take up the post here.
Well, when she approached me, searching for work, considering that apparently she's used to working around nobility, so she sought me out first. Just for clarity. And you see that she's like trying to not sound like she's stumbling, but she is a bit, considering that she has come across an assumption lingered on earlier in your little discussion. When she approached me and told me about her previous work, she mentioned that she once served Tirana in terms of who she served within when any of the gods, but she said that she recently had turned away from her as her calling was no longer delivering justice and, well, needless to say, everything that Tirana stands for. I still, I don't believe that she has turned away from her completely. If you wish to know who she serves now, I'm pretty sure she would be delighted to answer that question.
Perhaps another time then.
Very well. Is there anything else that you wish to know about her? I don't want to divulge everything, as that would seem quite rude, but considering you're doing some personal investigations, she does raise a finger. Oh, right, your previous question. I do apologize. You mentioned, asked me why she settled down here, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Well, she did mention it was temporary, but she is a hunter of necromancers, so to speak. She abhors the use of necromancy as a art of magic, and considering how it can sometimes corrupt the wielder, such as you very astutely are aware of, considering our history, she was given a brief on the town's history, and she wanted to make sure that it was completely secure. So I offered her the job as a deputy constable, and then she would be taking orders directly from Julius. I don't see how that was a problem, so she agreed, and she essentially takes the night shift while we give her room and board while she stays here.
Oh.
I think
indeed.
Rayla's kind of just looking to Murkon as she's like saying, "Oh, she takes orders from Julius," and it's just kind of like, okay.
Kind of seems like.
You did say she was a deputy, so that does make sense. So, well,
Fair enough.
I'm gonna use a fear here. As Lilith looks between all of you, studying your faces. Because it's a fear, it's going to be automatic. She's sensing a little bit of trepidation between the four of you. Technically three. I must admit, there definitely does seem to be something amiss when you spoke to her earlier. Is there something I need to know about? Did something happen?
Murkon kind of, lifts his head up and he goes, truly I don't know where you'd be getting that from, but, surely everything's fine. I would say if there's anything off, it's probably from the fact that it's a little weird that she recognized me, but I don't know her.
She just had one of those faces.
She looks immediately at you, Leo, when Murkon says that.
We're famous, aren't we? In a way.
Yes, but there is something that seems off between the lot of you. Outside of your fame.
Well, it does come into what we were looking to do here, I would say, that we're working on. Something else that we might have some interest in, but truly I don't know if there's anything we need to worry about in terms of what you might be feeling. I really can't remember where she's from, unless, Rayleigh here has something more in terms of interactions with the Crimson Hawks or her herself. And
Murkon, go ahead and roll a presence check for me. To deceive.
To deceive.
You can apply your gesture here, by the way, if you so wish.
I sure will.
Very good.
Woo!
Oh.
Seeing that you are Murkon, the protector of the town, the jolly good fellow that would do no wrong, especially lying to the head of the town. No, you are the one who is honest with the people of this fair city, as you are doing good deeds left and right and center, all around. It makes sense that you, of all people, would not lie to her. And she gives you a nod and smiles. I have to agree with your brother, Murkon. You do have a very recognizable visage, especially your eyes. They are a unique color they don't often see in places like this. Regardless, it's good to know that there's nothing going on. Now then, back to business. What is it that you needed from me?
Murkon kind of looks between the group to see if maybe they want to ask something or if maybe they have something in mind.
I was trying to remember if we told her about Julie. Yes, we did. Okay, yeah. I quickly went back to the vault. We did tell her about Julius and how it seemed like he was being reprogrammed. So I feel like Murkon is like heckin' smooth, and it's like, yeah, nothing happened. Meanwhile, Rayla kind of just like increasingly getting agitated, and finally he's like, last night Julius pulled a gun on us. And Anissa was there too.
Murkon!
You could see Leo kind of like sighing in relief, just like glad he doesn't have to hold that anymore.
Murkon, mark of stress, please.
Yeah, thanks.
As Rayleigh just completely...
My first hope roll in like 2 sessions instantly fucking destroyed.
Hey, at least you get your hope, right?
Yeah, the hope that I used for this.
Yeah, you got it back. It's fine. And Anissa was not Anissa, sorry. Lilith was about to pour you guys a drink as she's pouring it in the glasses, and she takes a sip from hers, just waiting for you to explain. And she immediately spits it out on you, Rayleigh, by accident. Just what?
Yeah.
There goes the one thing I didn't want her to worry about.
As you remember from our previous conversation, we mentioned that it seemed like Julius's personality had flipped based on what the bandit that we talked to shared. And as he's saying this, he is like looking to Murkon, and he's going to say, I've known Lady Lilith a long time, and I don't believe that she's involved in whatever is going on. So the last time that we were here, Leonin and I confided on what we'd found so far. And if whatever she knows about Anissa can help us, then I feel it's good for her to know the truth of what happened.
Lilith walks around and hands you a handkerchief, Rayleigh.
He's gonna dip it in his water skin and kind of just like dab at the stain, like trying to make it easier to clean later on.
I really would recommend you let him keep it.
I'm not...
From experience.
I'm not doing that.
Alright. If you're sure.
I will be taking that back when he's done, Leo. She gives you a very awkward smile before turns to Murkon, and she has a very serious face. Murkon, I hope that you understand my position here. If Anissa is doing something of ill will, I can not only revoke her position, but have the actual guards that are not Julius arrest her and put Julius in a lockdown. I still am the head of the town, after all, outside of the council. Do you not trust me?
Which is... Well, that's the thing. It's not that I don't trust you. It's that we don't have all the information yet. And Murkon kind of leaned back, which is kind of why I didn't want to tell you just yet. He looks over at Rayleigh until we have solid evidence that whatever is going on with her, at least, is clear. The last thing we want is misunderstandings. Murkon gives the fucking look over at Rayleigh, just the head tilt.
I know this might be ironic coming from me, but I was also not super comfortable with not telling her what exactly we were in.
You were on the brink of death. You had been thrown through a wall, it seemed.
Well, someone kicked me where I kicked her. I would slam through a wall too.
There is a plink plonk that comes from Lilith as this is mentioned. You just hear a very, very, very silent... this almost happens almost every session when something is said. And she looks between the three of you that are talking. noting Akuji's silence, because of naturally. And she furrows her brow. She crosses her arms in a very thinking pose, her hand on her chin. That is interesting that you mentioned that. Nisa actually came in. When she came in earlier, she was giving me a report about a couple of thugs that broke into the graveyard last night. That's why the shots rang out and why she made sure to settle the guards after the thugs were rightfully accosted and sent on their way. So that was you four.
It's a bit of a misunderstanding.
Hmm. Well, that definitely
Well,
does.
we're telling the truth here.
Hmm.
What actually happened was we were doing a plan to look to see what Julius was doing at night, to see if the word about him acting different was true. And let's just say it didn't go to plan, and well, let's just say I got a very bruised back out of that entire situation.
Well, it's lucky that you were not the mistaken necromancers that Anissa claimed that you were, because you'd be dead if you were not that. It's good to see that you're still standing, though, Mercon, but I suppose that does make a lot of sense. Despite this unforeseen consequence of mistakes happening, as they are wont to do, what did you find out in your little escapade?
It was clear that Julius was not himself.
Yeah, he was far more swayed by ego than we had seen him before.
On top of that, it seems like the cemetery is something of great interest to them to keep them away, under the guise of watching out for necromancy, but let's just say I got a good hunch that it might be something else going on. And the only way we're going to know if we get ourselves back in there. Which is why we need your help on some information.
I suppose if there was something going on, the graveyard would be the best bet, especially if there's some sort of conspiracy within the Watch that is off limits aside from Anissa and Julius on Julius's orders. Right then, what do you need to know?
Mercon kind of brings himself closer, but he does look to Rayleigh and the others to see what they say.
I'd mentioned that the last time we were here that you had many books and resources about the town's history, and Mercon mentioned the idea that you might have old maps, or if there are any tunnels or some sort of back way connected to the graveyard.
To the graveyard,
If anything like that, then perhaps here is where we could find it.
Let me look. And she proceeds to walk around as I change the music slightly to better fit the scene. Not that that music is not bad. Where was it? I saw it a second ago, motherfucker. There it is. Okay. So, she begins to walk around as you hear the opening of the cabinets that hold the books, as some of them are more closed off, some of glass, some completely covered, just made of wood. And she starts to look through. Maps. See, no. Anything specific aside from the graveyard? Perhaps a name?
Mercon tries to remember if there was anything about the visions that they had of like the underground areas that could give him any idea of what the name would be. if there is any other name.
Yeah, go ahead and roll a knowledge check. However, I'm going to have you roll a disadvantage because of what you did not see in the library due to your episode. You two are also free to make knowledge checks as well.
Sure.
Okay.
The old college try.
Unfortunately, Murkon, the only thing you can really recall is the fact that the town's history is stapled in necromancy and the demon cult, and that's really all you could have gauged so far. Or the demon coven, sorry. And that is also applied to you as well, Leonin. Rayleigh, based on what you read within the books, after, of course, having the various visions, you recall that there is mention of there is some sort of entrance in the backside of the Bright Willow graveyard within the Bright Willow Woods.
Perhaps something in the forest surrounding the town, the Bright Willow Woods.
Yes, of course. That makes a lot of sense. Let me see. And she starts to narrow down her search as she closes this cabinet and walks over to an open shelf. Bright Willow Woods, forestry, hunting. Yes, here we are. And she pulls out a book that does not have a label on the front or the side, as she seems to have recognized it by appearance, and it appears to be a old tome of sorts. And as you open it up, you see the title of A Guide to the Small Forest Surrounding the Haven, written by Lord Brightwillow. And she hands it to you. I believe this should suffice. My ancestor, my great-great-great-great-grandfather, he penned this when he first arrived in the little hamlet, what once was, and he made sure to take note of the surrounding region to make sure that they could gather food amongst the actual lake that's nearby. And he also wanted to make sure there were any threats that were in the forest and secure the town properly. I hope this helps.
So too.
Murkon looking over to Rayleigh to see if Rayleigh's doing the thing of writing it down.
Yeah, he's got his journal out.
So, what you essentially read, you're able to skim past a lot of the flowery text Rayleigh, as you have read plenty of books like this before. And as you get into the actual meat of the information, you are able to see that the graveyard was not intended to be the graveyard, as that was one of the first additions that Lord Brightwillow put in place, because there were a couple people that died in the conflict and they wanted to bury their dead instead of cremate them. And in this regard, originally, he thought that the idea for a graveyard would best befit the woods, as returning them to nature would help grow the forest and help make the resources more plentiful. And a lot of people at the time were down with that. But then you see, in addition, in the journal, or specifically in the tome that was penned in, and you see that the ink is more fresh. And you see that the graveyard was specifically added much later on by a predecessor. As the town grew, a lot of them wanted to be more closer to their families. They wanted to have legacies, and they wanted their families to remember that legacy in stone, in a very similar way that a lot of other noble families do. But since this is a free town, they didn't have that. So what they did is that they built a crypt, and this crypt is accessed through a mausoleum that holds the bodies of the founders of the town, Lord and Lady Bright Willow, which are Lilith's ancestors. And this crypt leads to the original graveyard that was in the forest.
Oh.
I think when he gets to that point, he stops and looks up to Murkon. It appears your suspicions were correct, Murkon. There's a crypt that connects the woods to the current graveyard.
Huh. Interesting.
And then he'll go on into way too much detail about the history of like, oh, you know, at first I wanted to be into the woods, and like he'll just keep going on unless Murkon cuts him off.
Murkon's just like, he's not even bothered by it anymore. He just talks while Rayleigh just does his thing. He just goes, well, looks like we know where to start looking at next. And, knowing that Julius does his work of the day and her night, can't imagine he's going to be doing anything other than covering his looks. So if we were to go now, while the light's out, and get out before sunset, we may have a good chance before they start switching their shifts around.
Suppose that's not a bad idea.
Again, we may be at risk of catching into her if we were to go down that way. But if we were to do it by now, then we wouldn't have a gun on us. As ready as I am to... Murkon looks over to Lilith for a second before he kind of speaking up his mind. More ready than I am to take down that tin can. I want to make sure that we at least get ourselves as ready as possible before that. And dealing with something like her, a little more familiar, but still not pretty.
If Anissa is involved, as you suspect, then you will be up against a very, very formidable foe. She has been known to waylay against, well, squads of enemies, if the tales are true.
We could definitely see that.
I would keep your wits about you, you four. I would hate for you to come to blows, but if that is what happens, it is what happens, and the conspiracy has been revealed, so...
Well, if you do not hear from us, then you know what likely happened.
She reaches out and just gently pats you on the arm, Rayleigh.
Let us not be so dour, Master Keefe. I have seen and heard many great exploits. If you can best a band of brigands and the commander in a bar fight, I have no doubt in my mind that you'll be able to stand up to someone of the strength that Anissa possesses, no doubt. Have some faith in yourself.
Leo looks a bit unconvinced.
He just gulps, like, uh-huh.
Better get your eulogies written.
Lilith looks towards you, Murkon, and gives a very sympathetic look of, please fucking help me.
Well, now that we know what we're up against, and now that we have a place where we can at least stock up on supplies, we could be a little more well-equipped versus, well... Murkon kind of thinks about it. Hopefully we won't get taken by surprise like we did last time.
let us all hope that that is not the case. So, remind me again what you said, Murkon, because I know you were the last one that spoke.
Murkon said something along the lines of we'll have a better chance of getting prepared and hopefully not getting taken by surprise like we did last time.
Oh, right. Thank you. Yes, Lilith does, again, look towards you. Well, I do wish you luck in that endeavor. Whatever you found in the journal I gave you, a little account that my ancestor wrote, hopefully that should suffice. That is the one, and she's like trying to think as she's looking at you, Ray, like, that's the one that talks about the graves that were in the forest, correct? I was making sure that it doesn't have a title.
Yes. The ones in the forest because they thought it would be nice to return people to nature.
Okay, good. She looks a bit relieved. I did organize that correctly. Excellent. Yes, if you're looking for a bit of subterfuge, perhaps you could take the mausoleum entrance and go that way, or if you're more of a direct approach, you could potentially go and seek out the entryway into the forest graveyard. It's not really a graveyard, it's more of a site where there are definitely a lot more plants around, but I'm sure you understand the gist of it.
Well, seems to make sense to me. All right, then. We'll have some options. Murkon does look towards the group, kind of gauging what they think about either of those options.
I don't think that gives us a decent chance.
So?
Okay.
Oh, sorry, go on.
Returning to the graveyard, but if it's not what they would expect, then I suppose if it would better our chances.
Whatever we decide, as long as I can get ready for it, I'll do it.
On that note, perhaps we could reconvene at Beatrice's and gather ourselves before we head out on this venture.
Very well. I've had worse ideas.
Murkon looks back to Lilith after nodding to the group. Well, we appreciate all the help you're giving us.
Yep. Sorry for the trouble.
She gives you a nod and smiles. Oh, it's no trouble at all, dear. If you have anything else that you need, please do come back.
And Braylick will return her handkerchief.
you're gonna want to clean that more than once.
She gives a face and just like and takes it. Puts it down and she ushers you out. And you guys are let out of the manor. And this is where we are going to take a brief break. We will be right back.
Yay.
Welcome back to Fractured Shadows. We now have a Vixen, a Kuji. Hello. Damn.
Yeah, we picked her up on the way back from Dairy Queen.
He's a little
Sorry,
shy.
my mic was acting up, but yes, Vixen is back.
Vixen is indeed here. I don't know if she muted herself by accident. I can stop with the tense music because it's not fitting anymore. Oh, wrong tab. 1 second.
Vixen has returned. Beware.
This actually fits. Okay, so Vixen, are you back? Nope. All right, cool. So she is back. She's probably just away from her PC at the moment. But so just a very brief synopsis. You guys exited the manor with Lilith very clearly making it obvious to you that she is willing to aid in your investigation by any means, even if that means locking up people very obviously. With that in mind, you discussed potentially going to the mausoleum. What are you guys specifically wanting to do? And we can talk about this above board briefly. You did talk a bit behind like off stream real quick, but if you want to emphasize again.
Yeah. So Murkon's kind of the idea that either he's thinking about how fast they would be planning ahead regarding the situation. I think Murkon was settled on the idea that they are more than likely going to either raise their defenses on either side. However, he has a feeling they can't do both.
Right.
So one side will probably be less protected than the other. It just comes to a matter of what would they believe? Would they believe they would try to go back through the mausoleum again at a different time? Or would they, have an idea that they would go to the forest, considering there's probably an area that is not popular or like publicly known? Being that Anissa has seen them talk to, or had came in to talk to Lilith with seemingly no issue other than just getting in, it's more than likely she has an idea that they're looking for something not publicly known, which would be that forested area. And with her being, getting a head start, is probably going to either trap that area or she's going to trap the mausoleum.
You also
Still
mentioned to Anissa that we were investigating a case that would take us out of town pretty soon.
Indeed, you did say that. Whether she believes it or not, that's really up for you to determine.
So it is still a coin flip. However, with the context of that, I think the move is during the day, maybe peek around at the graveyard one more time just to look at it. And if there's anything kind of like sensed uneasily, then we can head for the forest.
Okay. So my question to you is this then. Are you going back towards the graveyard where the mausoleum is located now? Or are you prepping first?
I think prepping. Ooh, this might be tough because we wouldn't. I don't think we'd have time to do 3 in one day.
Indeed.
Considering the distances. So, I think Murkon would err on the side of caution, want to do prep, but kind of getting a vote from the party first before he drops his hat in the bucket, or drop his hat in the bucket, and then make his choice from there. But he does want to prep. He does want to get some stuff. He wants to make sure he's got goods to keep him from not getting his back smashed again.
Right. Okay. So with this in mind, what are you guys doing to prep? Where are you heading? What are you doing, so to speak?
Murkon is going to freshen up on some supplies. He's going to go look for specifically something to kind of bring his ills, his damage a bit down. He is still a bit beat up, and the stress is on him. He's probably going to look for some things to kind of get himself ready for that. And then he's going to look for a specific item that I believe I remember from the shop.
Okay. What item would this be?
This would be the vial of dark smoke.
Right. Okay. Yeah, you did look at that. So you're gonna be heading back to the Grand Guild Hall and talking to the League then?
Yes, the Adventuring Guild Hall.
All right.
To get himself some tinctures to bring maybe his health and stress down, and then get himself a vial of dark smoke, or 2, depending on the price.
All right. Let me double check here. There's the consumables. Aside from Murkon, what is everyone else doing?
Theo definitely needs to recoup a potion he has spent.
Okay. So I believe I had the vial of dark smoke. Adversary attacks you. This vial number d6 equals your agility, your evasion against the. Okay, so yeah, this makes your evasion go up. I believe I said that this was 200 gold, which would be 2 bagfuls or 2 bags.
Yes, that sounds right to me.
All right. So I will drag that to your inventory then.
Cool. I'll do the math here. Brings me down
PCs,
to
there they are.
9 bags.
Okay. We definitely have a lot more money to spend now. And you said that you wanted to look for tinctures, you said?
Something to bring down like his stress. And you know what? Make it 2 vials of dark smoke.
All right.
Bring that down to 7. I'll make it 2.
Very well. Go and reduce your bags.
Bags are reduced.
Very good.
Maybe it keeps game. Oh, maybe I should hit the enter key. Hi, this is my first time on planet Earth, and
Welcome.
being human, we need to stop doing that.
Holy shit, there's an item on here called Red Thorn Saliva. Thorn, what the hell,
What?
man?
What?
I don't think I'm comfortable with that.
This is absolutely disgusting. How much is it? Oh, let me look at this. Let me look at this.
So the
Deep.
red thorn saliva applies it to a weapon and deals physical damage. To add a D12 to your next damage roll, it is a poison.
Gee.
Huh, in this context, what is the red thorn exactly? Is it like an animal?
No.
Or...
What?
So based on the fact that this is called saliva, I would imagine that a red thorn is some type of bug.
Oh, I can imagine like maybe a beetle or something, like a big horn on it. But I guess beetles aren't often
Yeah,
very,
no,
venomous.
I'm so weird. I was thinking a monkey.
Thorn, no. There is an item that I was looking at to try and find one of the items that reduces stress, and there, I shit you not, there is something called red thorn saliva.
That's okay.
Honestly,
That's a
same.
very specific set of words to put together. Daggerheart.
I know.
It's true. It's right there.
Man, you gotta sue for royalties.
Matthew Mercer, what the fuck are you writing? Are you doxing my friend? I'm gonna kick your ass.
What did Matthew Mercer mean by this?
You better count your days, Maddie.
You better watch your fucking back. Anyway. So you would be looking for a stamina potion, Mercon.
Yes. Yes.
You can buy a minor stamina potion for 40 gold pieces, which would be 4 handfuls.
4 handfuls.
That's a blast.
I will buy. I'll buy 2. I'll buy 2 of them.
All right. So that'll be 80 crowns, my friend.
All right, let me do the math here. So I'm gonna do this at 6. Bring this to 12. So it's 80. So that brings it down to 4. Okay, it's done.
Very well. Now I do apologize since that was very sidetracked.
Yeah,
I wasn't planning that, but that's gonna be a short.
yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Short rest.
Anyway, so everyone else, what are you doing to prepare? Buying items, seeking out individuals. What's the plan here? I'm going to start with Leo, since I believe you did say something previously.
Yes, I mentioned how I would have to recoup the potion I spent.
Why are you getting mad at me? I'm just double checking, man.
Fine.
I'm sorry.
I just feel like you're ignoring me, you know.
I'm literally doing so many things at once.
He totally is, but that's neither here nor there.
What the fuck, man? You know, fuck you. 80 gold.
Oh.
No, that's actually the price, though, because you have the discount from Rayleigh.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
So that's 8 handfuls.
Swag.
Be sure to reduce that when you get the chance. Will that be everything for Leo, by the way?
How many is a bag?
A bag is 100.
100.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So if you decide to spend 80 using a bag, you will give yourself 2 handfuls.
That sounds good to me.
All right.
1 bag.
So reduce 1 bag, and I will give you 2 handfuls, which will be up to 9. All right. Will that be everything for you, Leo?
Yes.
Okay. Rayleigh. I don't know if Vixen is back yet.
He would want to swing by the tavern, and he would pull out a thermos and ask Beatrice if she has any risotto for him to purchase so that he can fill his thermos.
I see you want to, you're really fiending for that, hmm?
Well, if there's one last thing that I would like to eat in this world before potentially kicking the bucket, and this risotto would be a fair meal, to say the least.
She raises an eyebrow at you as you say that. Really, do you need someone to talk to, by chance? Are you okay? Do you need like a therapist or something? Because you're really concerning me right now, friend.
I'm all right. You're starting to sound like my former wife and our later years together.
She puts her hands on her hips and glares at you.
Fuck up, man.
Really gotta stop telling people that.
Let's just say that our party is looking to live up to our title as the heroes of Bright Willow Haven, and hopefully it doesn't lead to our demise, but it doesn't hurt to prepare.
So you want to prepare by having some more of my delicious pasta, hmm? You know I have other things aside from my mushroom risotto, despite its immaculate fame.
Well, I did hear from the League that if I was interested in purchasing any specific alchemical items, that visiting you would be the right decision.
She immediately leans forward with her hands on her chin and she's grinning madly.
That is an interesting proposition that you bring to me, really. What kind of mixtures are you thinking of, my friend? Something to make you stand up straighter, maybe a bit more quicker, maybe a bit spiffy,
I suppose if you have something that could boost my self-confidence a little bit, it would be helpful.
That is a wonderful little potion called alcohol, Relic.
We were all thinking it.
She does joke as you see her hand disappear behind her and then reappear with a small blue vial.
I'm joking, of course. There is something that can, let's say, pull out the natural presence of your persona. I call it
He was
charm
already
potion.
pulling out his flask and he just tucks it back into his jacket.
She like glances at you and just like holds it and pauses. No, go on.
My apologies. It appears you were joking at that.
Had a reference to Big Boo as a spoiler for the Backrooms movie.
Oh,
Charm?
God.
Potion, you say?
It pulls out a little bit more of your, like I said, latent potential presence. Your natural persuasive techniques would be a bit more accentuated.
Natural Riz.
For a moment.
So essentially, Thorn, what a charm potion does is that it gives you a +1 bonus to your next presence roll.
Okay.
Neat.
That could be helpful for our adventure, I think.
I see. Well, I would easily give this away for, let's say, about...
She's like counting on her fingers.
For you, my dear friend, 10 crowns. What say you?
That sounds more than fair, thank you very much. And he'll take out the crowns and slide it across the counter.
All right, remove 10 coins from your inventory or 1 handful. And I will drop the charm potion in your inventory.
And he'll take the vial and he'll hold it for a moment. And then look back at Beatrice and say, I don't suppose you have another one lying around. If we do survive this, and
She raises
he kind
a
of like
brow
starts
at you
mumbling.
as she's
If I
like counting
ever
the coin.
encounter my former wife, then a little more confidence could help. And his voice is kind of just like trailing off and getting more mumbly as he says that.
Speak up, Rayleigh. I can't hear you.
If I run into Matilda on the off chance, then a little more confidence would not be a bad thing.
I'll tell you what. If you come back alive, I will give you a much larger bottle of this. And ideally, when you consume this, just so you are aware, you have to drink the whole thing. Understand?
Understood. And he's like nodding as he tucks it into his jacket.
Very good, very good. Now, as I am vehemently aware, you have somewhere you need to be. So, do you need anything else?
He like pauses for a second, like he's thinking about it, and he's like, I'm still interested in the risotto if you do still actually have some.
Rayleigh, you do realize that your own perception is pretty poor these days. I've already filled it up for you.
And you see that somehow, some way, when you weren't looking, you see steam rising from your... what did you say it was?
A thermos? Like, I imagine like a metal thermos.
Yeah. You see steam rising from your thermos.
His eyes widen and he like rubs his eyes like to make sure it's real.
And you
He looks
do
up
smell it.
at her. Takes a big inhale.
She smiles as you take in the very familiar scent of her very famous, very seasoned and well-made mushroom risotto. You can go ahead and add that to your inventory if you so want.
Heck yeah. But he does look up at her starry-eyed. Looks down her hair. We'll say he said. Looks across at her starry-eyed and just gives a. Thank you, Beatrice, for everything. Really, it means a lot to me.
You're a dear friend, Rayleigh. I would do anything within good reason, of course, for you. Do me a huge favor, if you don't mind.
What is that?
And she steps up onto the countertop so she reaches your full height. And then she just gently, like, slaps your cheek.
Don't die,
He's like getting a little bit teary-eyed, but he gives her a small smile. I'll do my best to do that. Make it back here and tell you all about our exploits.
And she grips you by the horn and, like, holds you still. No. You're not going to do your best. You're going to do better than your best. Okay?
His head's kind of tilted to the side as his horns pull. Okay, I will do better than my best. I shall return here, post-haste.
There you go. Besides, if you died, I wouldn't have a very loyal customer anymore.
And she proceeds to walk back down and plop back into the seat behind the bar that you can see, as she proceeds to continue to clean the many different mugs that she is across the table, the bar top. Are you finished with your prepping, Thorn?
Yep.
All right, Akuji. Hi.
Hello.
Oh my god, her thing works. She's talking.
Yay!
I can talk!
Oh
Yay!
my god.
Here comes the yapper.
Straight
Need
yap
art.
sesh, let's go.
Need an art of like a fat, round, like hyena with like very simplistic
No.
face, just doing a yapping.
You gotta call them the yeens. They're the yeens.
Yeah, I need a fat artist that somehow finds this and watches this. Could you like draw a very simplistic looking round yeen that's just doing get an animation? Appreciate it, thanks. It has to look like a Kuji, otherwise it doesn't work. Anyway, Akuji, welcome
Hello.
back.
Thank you.
So, you are you and your group are preparing for a trek to somewhere regarding one of the following graveyards, either the one that is in town, where you're taking the mausoleum entrance to the forest, or going directly to the forest. So,
Okay.
with that in mind, Murkon suggested that you all prepare. How is Akushi preparing? What are you doing? Are you getting any items?
Akuji will probably look for somewhere to buy like health potions from.
That would be the Guild Hall, specifically in the Adventurers League, where you bought potions before.
Yes. She will probably go back there. She will go back there. And talk to
Flan.
Flan. Yeah. So I had
Okay.
to go through my NPCs list.
All
Flan.
right. Well, he will be aiding the party that goes to the Adventurers League. We're just going to keep this very brief so we don't RP it. But so you are looking for healing potions. They are different varieties, as there's minor, major, and then the very large ones. There's minor, normal, and major. What are you looking for? They will go up in cost.
How much are the normal health potions?
So the flat health potions, the ones that just that says health potions, with Raylig's discount, considering that you are associated with him, they are 80 crowns, which are would be 8 handfuls, or 1 bag diverted down, which would give you 2 handfuls as change.
Okay. She will probably want to buy. I'd probably say she'll probably buy 4 health potions.
Okay,
And
and this is of
she'll
the
give-
normal variety, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Just for reference, you do see Leonin purchasing several. So, if that is correct, that would be, you said 4?
Yeah.
So that would be 320 crowns, which would be the equivalent of 3 bags and 2 handfuls.
She will hand over the 3 bags and 2 handfuls.
All right, please reduce that from your inventory.
Will do.
Voodoo, I'm just double checking because I want to make sure you did have add your chest, right, of gold that you got?
Yeah, I had it. It was just one chest, right?
Yes.
Yes, I did go through that because I did buy some other things for the stealth mission, and then I just bought stuff for this. So
Cool. Just making sure. Awesome.
yep.
All right, so
I didn't do the thing of like actually subtracting it beforehand, so should be good.
gotcha. All right, so Akuji, you are given 4 health potions.
Yay. Thank
Is there
you.
anything else that you would like? And if you don't know, you can also describe it to me, like something to reduce your stress, something to increase ability modifiers, something to make you invisible, stuff like that. Is there anything that you're particularly looking for?
Nope. She'll just take those and be happy.
All right, very well. Okay, So that's funny. I don't know if that would be expensive. I think that'd be pretty expensive now that I'm thinking about that. Anyway, so, are you all ready to go, or are there any last-minute things from you all that you are trying to do?
Is there anything special in the shop today?
You know what? Let me roll for that. Let me see what I get. All right, that's an 8. So, what you see that seems to be in the shop today, that seems different, that was right next to the vial of dark smoke, you see a handful of items that seem to be on the top shelf and very much in display. It seems that there's an open crate nearby that is now empty, of course, and these items are on the display. You currently have a glowing purple bottle that seems very, very small in comparison to the healing potions. You have... Where was that one that I found? You have a clay bottle that has a red mark of a skull on it that seems to be very ornate in design. You have another blinding orb. And you see a bottle that seems to be corked with a golden visage of a bat that's corking it, and it seems to be red in color. But it's unlike the healing potions, which were more of a scarlet. This is a very deep, dark crimson. It seems to glow a bit more prominently than the healing potions.
Marqui looks over to this bottle. Goes to Flan. What would you have in this display here? This bottle.
Which one are you pointing to?
He points to the one with the bat.
Oh, that, my friend. We call them Yorgis, but they are they're not from this particular plane. We assume that they are just demons of sorts, but we can't explain. That would be the tempered, heavily filtered blood of the Yorgi. From what I am aware of, and I've only seen it used once amongst some of the Manadine archivists, once you drink this, it still has the pungent taste of blood, but it's watered down. You disappear from where you are and immediately reappear at a point that you see that's very far away. Essentially, you can drink this blood to disappear from where you are and immediately reappear at a point you see within very far range. It is a teleportation potion. Kind of like Misty Step.
And what would be your price on this?
Ooh, that is a good question. Considering how valuable and rare the blood of Yorgis are, I would say...
He takes out his abacus that he pulls from thin air, as he is a mage. Starts...
I would have to say that one would be... with your discount, about 800 crowns.
Marqui looks at it and he goes, "Good to know you have it. A shame I can't afford it." He points to the purple one. And what would this be?
The one with a little bit of liquid in it that I mentioned?
Yeah, the one's much smaller than the others.
That is this one seems to have been made by an alchemist by the name of Hamet, from what I'm reading here, and you see him suddenly having pulled out a note, like a miniature ledger, that's a book that was at his waist, and he's flipping through it. Hamet's secret potion. It would seem that this gives you... Ooh, very well. It looks to be one that would aid you when you're pressing an attack.
So after you drink this potion, the next successful attack you make critically succeeds.
How much would that be?
Well, considering it says here that you will do a decisive blow to your next foe. Rhyming, how clever. Oh. That would be, with your discount added, of course. Oh, that is also 800 crowns, Merkin. I'm terribly sorry.
Well, considering what these are selling, I would assume these would be of a higher price. But
These particularly are, yes. Oh, that's weird. The other one that we got in stock doesn't actually have a name for it. And he looks at you and then motions to the bottle with the death stamp on it, the skull icon.
Oh. Mercon looks at it closer. And there's no name for this then.
Let me see. I'm just flipping through the book. No, I don't think there is. It just looks like a wine bottle, if I'm being quite honest.
And how much would you sell for this?
Looks aged, so if it's some sort of magical wine, who knows. Here, I will sell it to you for a measly 50 gold. Do you have the crowns for that, at least?
That I do. I can
Very
take it.
well. All right, so this is an actual item. I just want to have some fun with it. But, when you pick it up, you get a very ominous aura the second you touch it. As he opens up the case and like floats it down with his magic, handing it to you. The second it touches your glove, you just feel a type of energy from it.
Creepy. But he takes it.
All right.
No, he doesn't drink it. He just takes it into his
No.
possession.
Yeah, no, I gotcha. Okay. So I will put in your inventory mysterious ominous bottle.
Hell yeah.
Perfect.
Some of my
So-
favorite types of bottles.
All right.
If Ridlick is able to catch up with the rest of them after going to Beatrice, could he buy one of the 800 gold potions for Mercon?
Sure, you could. Which one do you want to get for him?
The Hummet's secret potion.
Certainly. You do buy the potion from Flan. Please reduce 800 crowns from your inventory. However, which way you see fit.
And then yeah, Mercon, I think like after you hear the descriptions, you kind of just see Rayleigh smack down a big gold pouch, and it looks like he's like kind of nervous, sweating a bit. Here for you. If it increases our chances of surviving this endeavor, then I think the gold is well worth it.
Rayleigh, this is. I know we got paid quite well, and you've been more frugal with your spending than I have, but are you sure about this? That is a lot to spend on. Well, and to be frank, this is one of the best gifts I've gotten outside of my family. But are you sure about that?
Yes. There are some things that are worth more than gold, and one of them is keeping your word to a friend.
Mercon takes in a deep breath, and he puts his hand on Rayleigh's shoulder. You're a good friend, Rayleigh. I'll make a song for you one day.
He kind of like perks up at that. He's like, really? He would do that?
If you don't mind a song from a jester, of course, but you know, I'll try not to be too funny about it. I'll tell your story in the way that I would like, but I will tell your story.
That's the nicest thing that someone has done for me in quite a while.
Well, let's hope that song makes up that 800 gold that's being spent here. You know, as long as we live this.
Okay.
Right.
So you, along with your very mysterious, ominous bottle, you are given Hamet's secret potion.
Imagine every time, like, it's like in view, like Murkon like brings it up or like pulls out the potion. It's just like a hyper realistic art, like drawing of it, of his hand holding the bottle. It's just, ooh. Hey, do you still have that bottle? You mean this bottle? Ooh.
You know the fucking when you enter Ash Lake for the first time and you just get that's literally what plays every time you hold up that fucking bottle, Murkon.
Oh my god! And it's just like the fucking Ren and Stimpy, hyper realistic art style in his hand.
Yeah, hold on.
Amazing.
So, for the chat, anytime Murkon holds up that particular bottle, you just hear this.
God.
Hold on, I'll post it in Discord so you guys can have a laugh as well.
Oh no.
The audacity!
Every time.
Every time it's just every single fucking time Murkon holds up the bottle, it's like, you saw the bottle? Like, yeah, why? You mean this one?
I need this drawing now. I need to find an artist who can do the Red and Stimpy hyper. You know what I'm talking about? Like,
yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
What do you mean, like the fucking Ralph Bakshi? Like,
yeah.
Yes.
I don't see what's wrong with this bottle.
Wake up, day ruined.
Well, that's weird. I think this bottle has something wrong with it.
What, you mean this bottle?
Oh my god, sorry. I didn't mean to get sidetracked like that.
This is a grimdark series, everyone.
I don't know what you're talking about. Ren and Stimpy is a very grimdark series.
Actually, I'm letting you know right now, Voodoo, that this is actually a dark, high fantasy game. Excuse you. Anyway.
Make you drink the potion.
Dark fantasy. It can be anything.
I don't know what concept we're good. No, I'm kidding. Alright, so. So you double checking here because shit happens. Are you guys done and ready to go? I believe I gave you the potion that Raylig offered you, Murkon, so you should be good to go with that. Any other last minute things?
No, that's it for Murkon.
I think we're pretty square.
All
That's it for Bougie.
right. All right, very good. If that is the case, so now that you guys are prepared, where are we going? What's the direction? I give you the scene.
Murkon, after getting the preparations, he kind of just looks towards the group. He goes, all right, any thoughts on it? I have but one. I made my choice, but I want to hear what everyone else has to say first. Don't be shy. I'm moving with you guys. I'm not doing my thing anymore.
going the forest way would play to my strengths, but if there's an argument to be made that the crypt would be a better direction to take, I'm all for that as well.
We got one for the forest.
As apprehensive as I am to return to the graveyard, that may very well work in our favor. Considering you mentioned that we would be leaving town soon, and perhaps they think we're spooked after the encounter last night. I know I certainly am.
And they would be right in that estimation.
All right. And he looks towards Akuji.
Forest would probably be a easier way to get in without being seen.
Well, I have to say, well, your option does have credit to that, Rayling. I myself am also more equipped with the forest, and considering so is my brother, and it sounds like Akuji is more comfortable with that. I think that's going to be our best option to risk it. I would be pressed to imagine they would be expecting us to come that way. However, that doesn't mean there's probably not anything there regardless. And with that, considering what happened the last time we went in the forest, we at least know what to expect. So, the forest would be my vote as well.
Very well then.
Unanimous then.
So you guys are choosing to go to the Bright Willow Forest then, correct?
Yep.
Yes.
Sorry, DM.
Hey, don't apologize to me. That's just the way the story goes, man. I'm literally just the guide. You guys choose whatever the fuck you want to do. You could say fuck this and leave. It's really up to you, like I said before.
That'd be really funny.
Hey, the only reason Leo said that is because he's worried about his brother.
No. It was mentioned before. So, like, if you really wanted to just say fuck this quest line and leave, then you could. It's completely up to you. I'm just the guide. So,
As much as Leo would probably like that, he has no other method of dealing with his brother's illness, so we might as well do this.
okay. So, if that is the case, so you decide to go to the Bright Willow Forest. With that being said, I do not have a map prepared for this. However, there is some things I do have in mind regarding the narrative, so we will go with that. As you approach the edge of the town, seeing the sun begin to start to slowly set, as it is a little late in the afternoon, and it is currently in a time of season where it's cusping the edge of becoming longer days. It is still the middle of spring. You set out to the edge of the forest, and you would notice that with your eyes, you can see that there are several, what you can assume are patrols of some sort, walking around the edges of the forest, where one of them very much clearly appears to be the Hunter's Charter, as you recognize the same bunny ears that you saw before from one of the hunters that was masked and wearing a hat, wielding some sort of large switchblade of sorts that seems to be like an axe. And he sees you approaching and walking around. Oh, it's you guys coming out this way.
Yes, we're actually doing some work out here. Something a little more specific, so we're trying to keep it a little more discreet, if you can imagine. If that's all right with you, we won't be here for too long.
Oh, not at all. It's just we're actually helping the I guess thanks are in order. We're making sure that not only that the bear that's making its home in the deeper part of the woods is protected, but we're also doing a little bit of rudimentary hunting instead of monster hunting for some of the folks in town. I'm surprised you didn't check in to see that there was a job available. And he like tilts his head to the side, curiously looking at the four of you.
Well, it's a little different from hunting, but we are doing a bit of a more of a. Oh, sorry, I really can't find the word. I really can't find the word.
Like a
GM.
personal job.
In investigation.
Surveying. Some surveying work. We're checking out some old information that we found before we, find some more work. But it's just something for some of the people in town that we're investigating some things.
Oh, I see. So you're. I just want to make sure I'm clear about this. You want to go into the forest to survey right now? And he gives you a kind of look.
We have some more. We have a good rapport with the bear. We don't intend to bother him or cross his territory. It'll be a short walk, if anything, and then we'll be back on our way.
No, that's not what I meant, Mr. Silverbrook. We sectioned off the woods so that the hunters could properly hunt and gather food for the village. I'm sorry you weren't notified. As you did notice, I did spend a fear point.
Ooh, I gotta think about how we do this.
You are more than welcome to insight him if you want, Raylig.
We were told the Shadowbark Brigade could be anywhere.
Ooh, good point.
It's a very good point. Yeah. Let me double check here so I can make sure. Go ahead and roll an instinct check if you're feeling suspicious about this familiar hunter that you have seen before, by the way.
That's anyone, or
Anyone that feels suspicious, go ahead and roll an instinct check.
I think Murkon would feel suspicious enough. I think the fact that there's this rudimentary hunt from this hunters guild that would probably have more stuff to do than this. I'm gonna roll it. I'm gonna roll it.
Swag.
Okay.
Big swag. Big swag.
All right. So, thank you for the fear, by the way. So, first off, Raylig. You know, I'll be honest. He has a mask on. He has a hat on. He's mostly looking at you with your eyes. And for someone that studies people's faces a lot, you can tell a lot by people's eyes. He looks really fucking confused at what you're doing, if anything. And you can tell by the squint as the mask sucks in, as he just again. But you aren't too sure because his face isn't really revealed. You get a hope. Akuji!
hello.
You're not good at reading faces. You have not studied like Raylig, Murkon, or Leonin in the terms of social decadence or social norms. It does seem odd, yes, but it's also hard to tell with everything covering this hunter's mask. Sure, odd, but he seems to be genuine, as far as you can tell. Murkon, you do have a feeling that this does seem odd, though you can't really put as to why. And you in particular, knowing the Hunter's Charter, why would they do a rudimentary hunt now? Leo, I'm going to give you this because it's a critical. So when you were in the guild hall, when you went to go purchase stuff from Flan back in the Adventurers League's vault, you did spot several hunters walking out of the Hunter's Charter in a small mass, so to speak, as they were really busy with something. While this guy does seem particularly suspicious to you, and the way his tone is, and the way that he made a regrettable face as far as you could tell, knowing weird people's faces, his story's adding up. Even if you didn't see the job that was posted through all the many flyers, while the other three can't seem to realize, or their suspicion is raised, everything's kind of lining up for you, and it just seems like a really bad and very awkward time to suddenly do something at the same time as a hunt that you didn't even know about. So unfortunately, from what you saw, the hunter's story is adding up, and he is not lying to you.
Yeah, we kind of give Archon just like a small like poke with his elbow, just like give him this his story's lining up sort of face.
Marcon he at first kind of tilts his head and goes, "Oh," and looks over to his brother, and then kind of nods a little bit, just okay, yeah, we weren't informed that there'd be a hunt kind of setting up this place. We being hunters, we aren't strangers to the rudimentary hunting as well. I do hate to press. I understand you guys are just getting back to work. I'd hate to do anything to interrupt it. Is it possible we could just take a quick route through? Because I do believe that what we're looking for is in that direction. We'll just come through. If we don't find it right away, we turn around, meet up with you, and we leave. Would that be a fair deal with you? If just this once.
I mean, you did help the town out, and you did help us get our jobs back, at least back to work. I don't know. I don't want to piss off Rose Dove. Go ahead and make a presence check, Mercon, with advantage.
Okay. Cool.
Yes.
Where'd my roll go?
Oh,
there it is. Ooh.
So,
Hell yeah.
So, very well done. Very good job. How are you trying to persuade him further, enticing him to believe that this is what you're doing? He seems to be on the ropes, but he does seem hesitant and is leaning more in your direction, kind of feeling a little bad that you guys weren't notified. Not that that's his job.
Mercon will do a quick little monologue about it. I absolutely get it. And to tell you the truth, this isn't the only time we usually ask people for favors outside of their work. Silverbrooks, we do a lot of our work a little more differently than others. We do operate outside of a lot of the guild work. So I understand this is definitely not to the norms of what you're doing. Right. That being said, I do respect your guys' work. And truly, the last thing I want to do is interrupt it. I would not ask of this favor if we weren't sure that we were going to be cautious of this. And if to push this further, if we were to find any of those game, you will be the first I will let know. We'll bring it to you if we can. If it's too heavy, we'll mark it. We are good at keeping it preserved and hidden, especially with my brother here. He understands the wildlife more than anybody I know. in the world, really.
Right.
And we can at least keep the food ready for you so that you guys have some more work to do. So, and of course, we won't take any credit for it. This is all yours work. We just, we want to do our work, but we also want to help you out. And that's the last thing I want to do is leave you in a position where you can't at least, ask for forgiveness versus asking for permission. That kind of, you know the phrase, right?
Roughly, yeah, I get it.
The phrase is, it's best to ask for forgiveness than it is to ask for permission. Following with that, you usually want to give something in return for that forgiveness. And that's kind of what I'm looking to do. Again, I understand it's under the table. I don't wish to put you in hard work, so we do plan on being very quick, in and out, and be done.
All right, I suppose there shouldn't be a problem. I mean, you are Silverbrooks after all, and co. How deep are you going into the woods?
He looks over to Raylig.
He looks over at Raylig as well.
You would roughly describe how deep, but not like specifically where they're going. A ways further, we're surveying some old land that the town used to utilize before it grew.
I see. Well, that's that old land that you're referring to. I'm familiar with it. Do be careful around there. There's lots of mounds, and that's also predominantly where a lot of the wildlife prospers due to the, abundance of resources that area has.
Well, I do believe.
Be careful.
I do believe we'll be a straight path through, and then we'll more than likely turn our way back after a quick survey. We're mostly just getting preliminary information before anything else.
Okay. If you're sure, Rayleigh, go on.
Indeed, the House Silverbrook is held in high prestige for a reason, and I have the utmost confidence in the two members that we have here.
Very well. At the very least, please don't be too long. But 3 to 5 minutes at the most.
Yep, we'll do our best. If anything comes to note, we'll turn around right away and make our way back.
Okay.
Just do your best, if possible, to kind of leave it to as little as you can about this. It is work more so on the upper end side. It's the reason I can't be too detailed. You must understand.
Yes, of course. It's not a charter or a league business. I understand your efforts are wanted across the town, I'd imagine. Don't worry, I won't mention anything.
You are a great ally. I appreciate you.
Hunters have to look out for each other. He winks at you.
If we don't, then the other things we do hunt will. He winks back.
Exactly. Good luck in your surveillance.
We should be out soon. If not, we'll find a way. If not, assume us finding a way back out, but we won't keep you waiting for too long.
Right.
And he does wave to him as he makes his way over there.
Okay. So, on the map, instead of going to this section, you are going to this section.
Yes. I'm gonna do a thing.
What is your thing?
I'm gonna DM it to you.
By all means. As I describe the scene, go ahead and DM me whatever you want to do. So, as you guys proceed with the this hairish hunter, motioning for the other hunters to let you go ahead that are guarding the pathway to let you go ahead and do your surveillance, having heard the conversation. I would like for you all to roll just a rudimentary, let me see what check would be here. I believe it's instinct to perceive, but I'll double check real quick.
Yeah, instinct is perceive, sense, and navigate.
Yes, so go ahead and roll an instinct check as you're walking through the woods. As you can see, when you enter these very woods, I'm going to actually change the music.
Red City.
Oh wow!
Yeah, we're kind of cooking.
Now you guys are rolling good. What the fuck, man?
Yeah, not against the one where Murkon almost fucking dies. No, it's the woods.
But I'll be right back.
GM, before we start,
Yes.
go for his minor stamina potion.
Okay.
I will do that thing we mentioned.
Yes, sir. Whoo! Rolled a 1. All right, good. So you do not do the thing that you told me you were gonna do.
Yeah, Murkon will just drink a minor stamina potion, D4. Takes away 1 stress.
You are very quiet, by the way.
Excuse me, gang. I am still getting used to having a mic that is like this. He does roll for the stamina, and he gets 1 stress removed.
Indeed, he does. Now, on to the rolls. So I'll handle everything in the crit after. So anyway, as you're traveling through, you all start to come across a set of raised lumps in the surface that seem like small hills. These appear to have several different variants of greenery and flora growing atop them that seem to give this part of the forest more life. Based on the information you found, you could safely assume that this is originally where the bodies were buried. And for mostly everyone, except for Raylig, which we'll get to that in a second, you all are looking around to do what you said you're doing, surveying the land. Most of you do see that from the accounts that there do seem to be a couple of stones in the ground that highlight where people were buried, confirming the rumor that you found in the journal, Raylig. And if anything, this seems to be very dense with a lot of them. In particular, for Leonin, you see a lot of different variety of animals that do appear to be in the trees and on the ground, in bushes, about everywhere, that are scurrying around as you try to make quiet footfalls, trying not to make yourself perceived as a threat. So they continue doing your lives as you are trying to fulfill what you wanted to do with the hunters as well. Raylig, you stumble across a very old stone that seems very old and decrepit. That seems to be a marking place for one of these very old graves. And you see that it's kind of organized in a... Instead of mushrooms, you see stones placed around with like a larger stone at the head. And it's almost organized like a fairy circle, you know, like the ones that you find in the woods. Just with like all the mushrooms around in just a very oddly shaped pattern. That's essentially what it looks like. And as you try to take a closer look at it, you look down and you see a very large spider that crawls across the stone that is the size of your head. Hello?
I think he
I think you
instinctively kind of just like leaps back a bit. Like, huh. It probably bumps into...
You would bump into, I would say, Akuji. As this arachnid that you find essentially appears to be a very dark spider with pointed legs and a reddish hue around its, I think it's a sternum. And as you back away, it crawls back underneath the stone.
Do you mean the arachnid?
Huh?
Do you mean the arachnid?
Spider. Akuji, as you are bumped into with Raylig, not even seeing the spider, you do your gaze darts past Raylig as you see a cave of sorts. At least that's what it looks like from this distance. And you see a smattering of these little raised lumps in the ground that seem to be connected to this cave. You see a small stone pathway that is very well hidden beneath the brush and the bushes and the shrubbery. And if it were not for your keen hyena day sight and senses, you would have not seen it were it not for the mere distraction until it very clearly aligns itself through a couple of cracks between some trees.
Akuji will point it out. Excuse me, as my voice is trying to leave me. She will instinctively, as she felt Rayleigh bump into her, she'll kind of put like one of her paws or hands on his back as she's looking at the spot, and then she points to it. It seems to be that there is a path and what looks like a cave headed that way. And she'll kind of go ahead a little bit down that little stone path, but not completely without the party. She probably doesn't leave maybe 6 foot length away from them.
Mm-hmm. Of course. So you are heading in this direction, party? Or?
Yeah, Marqui will follow Akuji's suit. However, he will be getting a torch ready for how dark it would possibly get.
Okay. So, you all head in this direction towards the cave. And as you all start to enter, lighting, you said you're lighting a torch, correct? Just double checking.
Yeah, as soon as it starts getting too dark, where it's hard for them to see, Marqui will get a torch ready.
Reminding you that you all do have dark vision. Friendly reminder. Smiles.
Do I have?
Yay!
vision?
Yes,
I like
I
the
gave.
reminder.
While it is not a, while it is not a key feature, all of you are not human.
Mm.
Not
you have
entirely
two,
human.
You are 2 half elves, a beastkin, and a faun. You all have dark vision.
More
Alright.
human than human.
Then I retract the torch. Murkon will not
Very
do
well.
it. He will trust in the eyes of his party members to follow without it.
All right, so
Trust in your
retracting.
own eyes.
I'm
Well,
done.
Say that again, Thorn. Sorry.
I was gonna say, at the time that Murkon would have lit the torch, can Ray like rally the group and say like, let's show them why we're the heroes of Bright Willow Haven. And,
hell yeah.
It's like a little bit of a shake in his voice, like he's still clearly spooked from the previous night, but he's doing his best.
All right. This is getting interesting. So, go ahead and post your rally. So this will be essentially your extra D6 that you guys get for whatever roll or damage. And this is once per session, correct? I'm just double checking for your...
Yeah, once per session.
Very well. So, as you enter the cave, with the darkness slowly beginning to take its shape around your bodies and concealing yourself for the most part, you do see a bit of torchlight within the cave. And then you see a wooden door. And that's where we're going to end the session.
Ooh, spooky.
Hi.
Boopy.
So,
Can we just say the rally happens at the beginning of next session so I don't need to remember that?
Yes, that is what I was going to exactly propose. I smiled when you said, like, oh man, she doesn't even know. Anyway, so we are past the time that I want to stop. I would go further, but again, I will admit I do not have the map prepared. So, thank you guys for watching. We will be here hopefully next Monday. We hope you have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Good night.
Bye.
Good night, guys.
Good
Bye,
night.
peoples.